Hey everybody, TBGhunter here, and welcome back to more Sly 2 Bandit Thieves. Last time, we took the high road and got ourselves a pair of clockwork eyes. We also managed to take down the Contessa. However, it seems like Carmelita is still on the runs with Interpol, along with us, but, you know, we're Bandit Thieves, so we can't really do much about that. Anyways, tonight, we're going to be heading off to the Great White North to begin my favorite chapter in the entire series, to be exact, and see if we do indeed have what it takes to tame the Iron Horse.
Following the trail of spice shipments, we made our way up to Nunavut Bay, Canada, the secret hub of Jean Bisson's shipping empire. As a young man, he trekked across Canada to strike it rich during the gold rush of 1852. An avid prospector, he took some chances and ended up buried alive in an avalanche. Miraculously, the quick freeze kept him alive, and 120 years later, thanks to global warming, he thawed out. A product of his time, he dreams of taming the wild north, damming every river and chopping down all the trees, with progress delivered at the sharp end of an axe. Shipping spice for the Claw Gang proved a lucrative way to bankroll his one-man war against nature. And yet, I have to feel a little sorry for him. He's just a normal guy from the 1850s. Back in his day, he'd be a hero, but today, he's a villain. Either way, that man's got more than his fair share of the clockwork parts. What a low-tech guy like Jean Bisson is doing with robot parts is a mystery. I almost don't want to know. But as always, it's only a matter of time before I find out.
Let me just say, this is probably the part of the series that I've been looking forward to the most because this is, once again, my all-time favorite level in the entire series. It's just such a fun thing to do, but before we talk more about it, I want to jump onto the internet real quick. Because we've got some new gadgets, and it looks like we can only get two. So, we got the hover pack for Bentley, which is actually probably one of my all-time favorite gadgets for him. Basically, it gives Bentley a jetpack, and it allows him to be a lot more vertical when it comes to jumping, as well as, you know, jumping over gaps, get up to rooftops. It's actually one of his most useful gadgets in the entire series. So, we are going to buy that. Berserker Charge, if you remember the Murray boss fight from the prison level, that is basically what this is, where Murray uses his head and scatters enemies with a powerful run. It's able to knock out flashlight guards and any other guard with it, aside from like maybe 2 types of enemies in the entire series. This is actually a pretty powerful thing. However, I don't usually find myself using it because it does leave you pretty vulnerable at times, and if a flashlight guard just sidesteps your charge and decides to get a shot off on you, yeah, you're not going to be lasting long against him. So I'm going to hold off on that for a bit. And instead, we are going to get Sly's gadget, which is Silent Obliteration. This changes his little hit in the air slam attack move to a move where he opens up a pocket dimension and causes enemies to fall into a black void in which no one can hear their screams of death. So, of course, we're going to be getting that. Mostly because we're going to be playing a Sly for a bit, and I want that to play around with.
I've got a lead on the clockwork parts. Head through town and out into the wilderness.
Alright, well, before we do any of that, I've got some clue bottles to grab. In this chapter, we're actually going to be getting all the clue bottles before we even start the recon mission itself, because the location of the vault for this area actually takes place during the recon. And yeah, it's not that far out of the way, so I could just, you know, get the bottles at any time and then just come back and get the vault at any time. But you know what? Just for the sake of consistency, so I don't have to keep running all over the place to find me some bottles, we're going to be doing all this in one run before we even start the recon proper. The recon, of course, starts all the way over there. Now, on to the reasons why I love the Canadian levels and so much, and this one in particular. The reason behind it is, well, it's actually the first level in the entire series that takes place during the day, whereas like some took place at sunset, and that was about as close to daytime as you would get, like Mugshot's level back in the first game. But this is one that actually takes place properly during the day, even though guards still use flashlights to try and find you. or I guess in this case lanterns. Not only is it the first one that takes place during the day, but there are so many unique new things that are introduced in this level that it's just so much fun. And also there's a silent obliteration technique at work right there. Just head on up here. I don't think there's any more clue bottles by the safe house, so let's check out town. And also grab this guy's loot right here. I believe this is the part of the level where the guards will actually start carrying gold bars and more like gemstones and stuff. And the necklace. Because, you know, these guys are mostly, this is like a little mining village, so of course they're going to be getting more like gemstones and stuff, or I guess in this case login and such. The guards here are actually pretty dangerous. The Canadian geese that are the enforcers here have 3 different variations of it, like the one over there, that one's carrying a shovel. I believe the ones that are stationed in this little, like, rover thing, this little land transport, they carry axes, and then there's a variation in another level that it takes place in Canada that they carry pickaxes with, and they also take the most punishment out of any of the enforcer guards, period. I'm gonna take care of this guy. I don't think the reinforcers actually are much more of a threat than they are in other levels. I think it's just the enforcer guards themselves. Another fun thing about this level are the trains. Oh, do I love playing around with the trains in this level. They will periodically go across the tracks every now and then, and in doing so, you can hop on them if you need a quick escape from guards, or just to have a fast way of getting around town or around the wilderness, and also just a fast way to lure some guards onto there and then jump off the tracks at the literal last second and have them get hit by a train, rendering them completely destroyed in one hit. You do want to be careful though. If a train hits you, of course, you'll be paced along the track, so do your best not to get hit by a train. There's usually like a good tell, like you hear the bell of the train ringing or its whistle going off. Yep, see, there's one right there. It gives you a little bit of a warning, so if you need to hop off the tracks before he hits you, then, you know, definitely do so. Take care of this guy real quick. I believe this is the only other clue bottle over here. I don't think there's any on top of the cabins. However, I do believe that there is a cabin somewhere that has a clue bottle resting on top. I think it might be the one up over on that little cliff side. Alright, let's see. Ooh, you got a shiny in your pocket. I will get it in just a second because I want to go over here and grab this clue bottle. There we go. Alright, let's head on over here, grab this other clue bottle. And before we continue on getting clue bottles and such, I actually also want to make note of the music. The music for this level is probably the most relaxing, the most like calming the entire series has, and it's hands down one of my favorite tracks in the entire game. It's called Canadian Wilderness, and it's just such a nice, calming and relaxing tune. So I'm actually going to shut up for a bit as we go around and collect clue bottles and just let you take in just how good this music is. Yeah, it's just such a nice, calming, and relaxing theme that I actually do find myself listening to it a lot as I edit videos. Alright, doesn't look like there's any more clue bottles around here, and unfortunately that train's actually, you know what, I think we can catch that train in time. Just glide back on over here, wait for the train to pass by, and hitch ourselves a ride. And this is the only way to travel up here in Canada. You do want to be careful though, because sometimes, like the train back in Prague, it can kind of slowly make you slide off to the side, so you want to be super careful. Alright, there's some clue bottles over here. Yep. Yep. Alright, I believe that's the only clue bottle, and I think there's one up there on that little platform on the train tracks, so let's head on over to the cabin and head on up there. Now, this actually does have like an old environmental enemy, although I think this also still counts as a guard and not just like a environmental hazard, which are these old mole guys that will swing their arms all over the place, and also from the looks of it, chuck dynamite at you, so you want to be super careful when fighting them. Because, I will say, the range on their attacks is actually pretty wide, so if you're not paying attention, you will get hit by those guys. Alright, well, that's clue bottle number 20, so we are getting pretty close to getting all the clue bottles right now, and I was actually wrong. It's actually over here on this little strut. Let's break open that. And I think there might be a clue bottle over here by this little power station. We shall see in just a moment. I don't think so, but I do think that there is one up on the power lines, so we'll just have to check and see. Yep, there it is. Also, yes, these guys are Canadian geese, the most asshole-ish of all the geese. And for the longest time, I honestly thought that they were ducks because they just kept quacking. But nope, they're geese. You can tell because they have like the little white stripe around their neck. Alright, that takes care of all the clue bottles up on the power line, so I'm going to hitch a ride on the train. And we are just going to make our way over to this frozen lake over here. I also like that the trains that you see going through here, you can actually see them run around in the background too, which is like a nice little touch. Just makes this area feel a lot more alive, is what I'm trying to say. Take care of this guy real quick. Here we go. You guys are just carrying nothing but necklaces. Uh-oh. Bye. Oh, God! It's a good thing that guy's a horrible shot. I heard a clanking of a clue bottle somewhere, and I think I might know where it is, and if I'm correct on that assumption, I'm going to be dreading it. For now, I'm just going to avoid that area like the plague for a bit as we grab all the clue bottles that are still out and about on the field itself. You're still missing 8 more clue bottles. And a good chunk of them are actually over here on this little ice rock formation over here. So, just gonna wait for the train to pass. I could sidle across there and avoid having to get hit by stalactites. Instead, I'm just going to circumvent that entire area and head on over here to grab ourselves some missing clue bottles. Up here, head on over here, smash this. I guess I was wrong, there isn't any clue bottles that are on the roof of the cabins. Could have sworn. Nothing over there. Ooh, that's a bear! Yeah, that's the big environmental hazard of this area. As much as I love it, the bears in this area are pretty terrifying. And a good chunk of the clue bottles here are actually in their little den. And you want to be careful, you want to wait for the bears to get a pretty decent distance between you and the clue bottle. Because they'll be able to hear it. And the bears, while killable, are a pain to fight, and the only one I would recommend you fight them with is either Murray or someone that we haven't yet come across out here in the wilderness. Thankfully, this should be the last clue bottle. Got it. And I'm surprised that bear did not hear any of that. Alright, we're just missing 2 more clue bottles, and then we'll be good to go to do some cabin hijinks, but I think I'm actually going to make my way over to where the mission itself is. Oh, wait, nope, I hear a clue bottle clinking. I think I know exactly where it is. It is right over here on these little rocks. Wait for that thing to turn around, avoid the spotlights. This thing actually has 3 spotlights on it. The front spotlights will trigger the little turret at the top to shoot at you. The side ones will actually call the guards that are inside the back of that little transport to come out and attack you. So, multiple ways to make your life miserable. Up here. Here we only have 1 more clue bottle to get, and if I can make this jump, damn it, there we go. Alright, well, got a ways to go before we can find that other clue bottle, so I say we just head on over and do some crimes in the cabin, unless I actually do start hearing some clanking. Nope, no clanking. Alright, well in that case, it's time for some cabin crimes.
That cabin may Don't be fooled. It's the control center for Jean Bison's trade empire. Sneak inside and raid his files. You're sure to find out where he keeps his clockwork parts.
Ransacking his files doesn't sound hard. Now, climbing up a sheer rock wall, that'll be a challenge.
You're in luck. Before Jean Bisson took over, this used to be a popular destination for rock climbers. Some of their old wall hooks are still around.
I'm guessing I just jump and hit the circle button to latch on.
That's right. And remember to lean back before you spring off the hook. You'll get more altitude.
Thanks for the tip. I'll give it a try.
Alright. So, as always, jump and hit the circle button, lean back, and you just spring yourself up at a higher pace. And also... No, that's not the train. That's the one that's right below us. Alright. Take care of you. Yeah, that guy's actually carrying a thing of dynamite, so you want to be super careful and make sure he doesn't throw it at you. Alright, into the cabin we go.
Jackpot, Sly! That's Jean Bisson!
Looks like he didn't notice me come in.
Just stay out of sight and take a picture of each of his trade routes. They should narrow our search for his share of the clockwork parts.
All right, I'm on it.
Hello, Arpeggio here.
Salutations, Mr. Arpeggio. Y'all got time to shoot the breeze?
Of course, for you, chum, always. Although must we communicate through that dreadful speakerphone?
Yeah, I can think better while my legs move. Pumps blood to your brain.
Yes, of course. One must keep blood in one's brain. But do tell, is there some pressing matter you'd like to discuss?
First off, are you still coming on schedule to get that Northern Lights battery?
Yes, we're well underway. My blimp should arrive at the end of the week.
Bullseye. For second, when you gonna give me a look-see at that clockwork brain of yours? I'd sure like to buy it off you.
We saw you covetous troglodyte. You've already got the lion's share of the parts. Would you take my meager portion of the robotic bird for your own and strip me of all my earthly pleasures?
Easy there, partner. You're all up in a lather. It's just that I found some real use for the clockwork parts I got. Why, I put 3 of them in the engines of my best trains. With those robotic doohickeys feeding the fire, them trains will run all night and all day. I call them my iron horses. Of course, I gotta keep the plans hidden. Stuffed them in my 3 trophy bass.
Sounds like you're making capital use of your share of the robotic loot. But for now, the clockwork brain stays with me on the blimp. Although, when I arrive to pick up the Northern Lights battery, I might be persuaded to give you a peek.
That'll do fine. By the way, you ready to giddy up into Paris for the final hoedown?
Yes, the blimp's hypnotist wavelengths conform to the specs drawn up by the Contessa, and Dmitri, before his unfashionable capture, did a bang-up job of distributing spice through his nightclub.
Sounds like all you're missing is some Northern Light electricity.
You're correct, sir. Yours is the final piece to the puzzle, the missing link. Once the battery is aboard, nothing will stand in the Claw Gang's way. Paris will be ours.
Yeah, okay. So, I guess I'll be seeing you at the end of the week.
Right, farewell, Bison. Stiff upper lip. Ta-ta.
Interesting.
Sly, did you hear that? Bison's hidden the Iron Horse blueprints in his trophy bass. Head for the fish on top of the fireplace and steal those plans.
Ooh, that almost could have been bad. Yoink. I swear, if this fish starts singing, I'm out of here.
Excellent. Now get out of that cabin before you're spotted.
So yeah, if Basan sees you, then you have to redo this whole segment all over again, so it's best to make sure he doesn't see you. Uh-oh. I think he might have heard me. I'm getting out of here before it's too late. Thankfully, he didn't notice that he brought in the cold.
After analyzing Bison's decorating techniques, I think we'll find the other trophy bass above the mantle in the 2 remaining cabins.
Nope, I hear clinking. And the location of our final bottle is still a mystery to me. I think it might be down here by this little cave, but I think I already got the clue bottle that was down here. Yeah, I already got it. Ah, there it is. Alright, well in that case, I'm just going to hop back on up here. And paraglide my way on over here and get our final clue bottle. And there we go. Alright, so we gotta go over there. And then we gotta get over there. We don't really have an order to hit these cabins, so I think we're just gonna go over here first. Just gotta wait for, you know what, I'm just gonna take the low road. Probably could have just run up onto that little platform on the train tracks and then just run down the rope here, but well, it's nothing too bad.
Yep, just like I thought. Get to the fish above the mantle and steal those blueprints.
Attention all cabin guards. I've heard tell from the boys at Ponderosa Cabin there's someone been in my hidden blueprints. Everyone stay sharp. This ain't no summer camp. I don't pay you boys to lollygag while there's a thief in these parts.
You're really gonna make me go and grab that guy's treasure before I do anything, aren't you? Yes, I have to. I must. The kleptomania. It's too strong. Thankfully, there's only 2 guards you have to worry about, and just so long as you don't bump the ones that are asleep or break any of the little bottles around them, then you should be good. Alright, now that that's taken care of, let's hop back up over here, grab ourselves our second blueprint from the bass.
2 down, 1 to go.
And before we head on out, it's time to start what I like to call the Northern Canadian Fight Club. Now, if you were like me and you got the Rage Bomb technique, then what you can do, and what I love to do, is throw it down here and just let all the guards just go haywire on each other. So let's wait for these guys to all group up together. Just a second. Come on, group up. Alright, you know what? This will work. And there's our winner of the Fight Club. Come on down and get your His prize is he gets to take a nice long nap. You know what? You've earned it, buddy. I'm not gonna kill you tonight. Although you might want to sleep on this cot over here because it would be a lot more comfortable than sleeping on the stone ground. Took me a minute to realize what I was standing on. I didn't know if it was stone or concrete, but nope, it's stone. Alright, take care of you. Avoid the bear traps all over the place. That's a really bad placement for bear traps, I have to say, because it's just like there's no bears over here. It would make more sense to have the bear traps either by Bassan's cabin or by the cabin that's over by the railroad tracks over there. Ah, well. Let's just run along the rails once more, head on over here. And up over at the cabin with the geese that were patrolling around it, and this little campfire, is someone who has a goodie in his back pocket. I must relieve him of it real quick. Hold on just a second, and yoink. Ooh, topaz. Alright, see ya, buddy.
The last trophy bass is above the fireplace. Be careful.
Be careful, he says. I'm always careful, Bentley. Nothing bad ever happens to me. Alright, we already got our alarm clock gadget still equipped on us, so I think we're going to toss it. Yeah, there's no way for me to get that shiny that's in his pocket, so unfortunately, I have to say farewell to it. Oh, actually, no, there is a way. There's a hook right here. Guess I didn't hear anything. Oop. Alley-oop. Come on, get the shiny. There we go. Ooh, sapphire. Well worth it. Alright, let's try this again. There we go. Get at least 3 of them all together, and then maybe we'll get the fight club going in proper. Maybe. There we go. I guess there was a snowball's chance he would win. Look how contempt he is for winning that. But unfortunately, he gets death. And I get whatever's in this vault right here.
Jean Bison's in for another rude awakening the next time he checks in this vault. The code should be 129.
Ah, the good old music box move. You throw it at enemies, it attracts it over to them, and then you watch them nod off. Unfortunately, it does not work on Sly because he is a night owl. The timing for it, though, is actually pretty short, so you do want to get it a fair decent amount of guards close to it before you can put them all to sleep. Anyways, here's our final pass. Let's get these blueprints and see what we have to do to get ourselves some clockwork parts.
Exceptional work, Sly. That's the last of the blueprints.
Alright, let's make our way out of here.
Armed with all 3 blueprints, we should be able to isolate and track the Iron Horse trains through that satellite dish.
Top of the mountain, huh? Shouldn't take long.
I mean, we could also just see them going through town. It's not like they're that hard to miss. But alright, Bentley, we'll do it your way. That will hitch me a ride, though. In fact, I'm just going to hold on for dear life. That way I don't accidentally get thrown off the train. Alright, here's my stop. And that is not good. Get up there, get up there! Ow. And I don't have any ability power. Oh dear, we might be in some trouble here. Woo! Alright, good, we shook him. Alright, hopping up over here.
This appears to be the only way up. Keep an eye out for those rock climber wall hooks. They might be useful.
Wall hooks or just wall hook because there was only one there, Bentley. Let's press a button right here. Hopefully not get killed by an eagle.
This is great. We've got total access to the train's GPS system. It's all on my computer. Head back to the safe house. I'll crunch some numbers and give you and Murray the rundown. Thanks to Sly's efforts, we now know the location of all 3 of the local clockwork parts. 2 lugs and a stomach. Jean Bisson has grafted each piece to the engine in one of his Iron Horse trains.
This improvement allows the trains to run all night and all day. We won't have the luxury of sneaking in while they're stopped. While they're in motion, the only way aboard is through a hatch on the caboose roof, which unfortunately has been locked down. These need to go. First, collect the spice gas from the balloons above town, and then land on the back of the caboose to blow off the locks. Once the way is cleared, I'll suit up and jump into Iron Horse number 1 while it passes near town. With some luck, we'll have the first clockwork lug in a few hours.